Hey, great Sunday evening. It is a beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville. Hey, Rudy. Swazwa! Good evening, my man. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And Kanina, thank you. You got here early. Good job. Again, it's a beautiful day in the city of Brownsville. It actually has been an amazing day, kind of quiet, kind of calm, as the weather has been really, really good. Uh, the clouds out, man, were amazing. Good morning, Saucillos. Leo, say hi to Josh for me. Delia, ¿cómo está, Delia? Buenas noches. Victor, buenas noches. Joe, good evening. What's up, mi Dea Gauna? John Wick. John Wick in the house. Good to see you, John Wick. I love that name. Yana, I was waiting for you to come in. Dianita Hermosa, ¿cómo estás? Buenas noches. Virginia, buenas noches. Again, beautiful day in the city of Brazil. Beautiful cloud coverage. I mean, it was just a beautiful, beautiful day. Hey, teacher. Hello, good to see you. Buenas noches. Saca las botas. I actually didn't wear them today because I had church. I actually preached at church in the morning, so I didn't have a chance to wear the boots. Puro 956 keys. Yep. Everyone finally got the message to stay home. That's why I was quiet. Hey, te he puesto falta. Absent. I hadn't seen you past couple nights. Good evening, Luis. Jessica, primita, ¿cómo estás, mi prima? Paul, Nereida, and David. Refugio, all the way from Virginia Beach. Stay away from the beaches, they say, especially if you're from Florida. What's up with the Amber Alert? We're going to talk about the Amber Alert actually in a little bit. Good evening, Belinda. And Federico, sorry, Ellen, we're just saying hi to everyone before we start. Getting people an opportunity to get in. What call? I just found out there's National Council shortage. Went to Dollar Tree and they are going to change out. Except, well, you know what? That actually happened to me actually as well. I think a lot of the business out there are wanting not to use cash anymore, which is, love your boots. Thank you, Federico. Gracias. Hola, Erasmo. Hola. Guys, tonight we have with us Helen Delgadillo, candidate for district judge. Helen, how you doing tonight?
I'm well, thank you.
It's good to have you. And Helen, how have you been? I think the last time that we had the chance to sit down and or see each other was before coronavirus.
Yes, a long time before that.
Long time ago. God, good evening, guys. Well, it is the new norm, guys. I'm going to stop saying hi now. So sorry. Because if you have any questions, Annabelle's here from Mr. Delgadillo. Good job. How are y'all guys doing? Doing good, Daniel. Thank you for asking. Saludos cordiales. Abogada Helen Delgadillo, de parte de Ricardo Carioga. Ricky, the banks are not giving change. Wow. Hello, and please don't go storm the banks tomorrow, guys. I need to go make a withdrawal. Hey there, chiquillo precioso. Gracias, Rudy. Saca las botas rivales. I don't have any. Hey, Helen, one of the things that did come out today, we did get numbers from Hidalgo County, and they were pretty bad. They were horrible. They were over 400. I think it was 402, 404. Helen, what's going on, Helen?
You mean with the pandemic?
With the numbers, I mean.
Well, I guess it's because people got very relaxed, and after the governor opened up Texas the way he did. I think that people just got very comfortable. And so, for example, here at the island, we not today so much, but in weekends before, we had so much traffic going through Port Isabel. And so I think that people just need to understand that it's not over. And it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. So we just need to practice, all the safe different things that we have been told to do, like, wear your mask, the face mask, even though it may be uncomfortable for some. Wash your hands, practice social distancing. I mean, we have to do all that in order to keep ourselves safe, our families, our friends, and everybody that we're around.
Ulysses, say hi to the family, Ulysses.
Helen, how have you seen the city of Port Isabel handle this pandemic? You are in the middle of South Padre Island, which you see a lot of traffic. How have the citizens been taking this pandemic lately?
In Port Isabel, we always have a lot of traffic, all the time, because everybody's trying to get to the island. And so I don't think they've changed a lot of things that they were already doing, because the whole idea is to get people, through Port Isabel. They do require everything that the governor has set forth. And so I think that, we also, some of the stores relaxed some of the requirements, but I think they're back because we see the numbers going up. So we need to make sure that we go back to where we were, whenever it opened up in the very beginning.
But one of the things that we experienced with Hidalgo County, especially Hidalgo County, and we talked about this a little bit last night, Hidalgo County, I think, became a little bit too cocky in regards to the numbers that they were throwing out. Hidalgo County for a while was reporting zero numbers, one number, two numbers.
Requirements, but I think they're back because we see the numbers going up. So
reporting very low numbers out there. So se confiaron bastante. They started to feel like, nothing okay. De repente, boom, 200, 300, 100, and now boom, 400 on a Sunday. And this is when they're being reported. Now, one of the things that really surprises us, Helen, is that a lot of these individuals out there are not necessarily the individuals that a lot of these people thought were going to be succumbing to the virus. One of the things that I think that has been very prevalent is that there's been such miscommunication in regards to it. We hear something from our elected officials, our local leaders one day, and pasan 2 días, and boom, they revert going to do something totally different. So it really is very sad. One of the new things that again is a new one, a misconception, is that no, pues nomás es para los viejitos. No, we got a lot of 20-year-olds out there, a lot of 20-year-olds, a lot of 30-year-olds. Ellen, in your opinion, what is this attributed to?
I think it's just like I said earlier. We were, sheltered at home. We were following the rules. We were trying to follow the rules. We were, staying away from other people except our families. And so when they opened up, and I understand that they wanted the businesses to get back to normal, but I don't know that people really understand how important it is to continue to practice good, safety measures in order to stay safe. I think that's what happened. We just got too relaxed, too comfortable. And I think we need to go back and we need to be reminded that it is not over and it looks like it's going to get worse. I don't know very much about Hidalgo County and what they're doing, but I know that I understand that things change from one day to another because everything is changing. So if our county judge is setting forth certain rules, and then they change a couple of days later, it's because we're all learning from this. It's not something that is just, if you do this, it's going to go away. No, we're learning day by day. And I think that's the position that these, people in government are going through.
One of the things that, and I refer to, and Adolfo, just to answer your question real quick. School is starting on August the 11th. August the 11th. They just haven't decided. They're going to let your parents decide if it's going to be hybrid or if it's going to be you in class or you at home. I would choose stay at home. Helen, one of the things that I was referring to in regards to the 20 to 30-year-olds, in my opinion, I'm going to think that a lot of the individuals that are coming out positive are the individuals that are going out to bars. And, because one of the things, first things that we saw as soon as the governor opened up or gave the opportunity for the bars to open at 25%, all of a sudden, boom, that same weekend, we were receiving videos where the kids were like this. I mean, estaban requetopados, all the bars with a bunch of kids out there. Again, it was being very, very responsible. Well, Abbott, again, things changed. Abbott went back and said, you know what? Boom, as of Friday at noon, the bars closed. Well, guess what? Now Texas Bars, not the Bar Association, the Texas Bars Association is planning to file a lawsuit against the state of Texas. What is your take on filing lawsuit from bars against the governor, against the state of Texas for closing down the bars?
First of all, anybody can file a lawsuit, okay? And I'm sure that the bars want to get back to where they were before the pandemic. And so, we've lost a lot of money in different businesses. Now, will the judge that hears the case side with either party? I think that a judge will look at it and say, what is the best thing for all our, community? Is it safer to keep the bars closed, especially if they're not going to be practicing what the rules were to keep a social distancing? You saw how you just mentioned that all these, young adults were, like sardines, in these bars. And so if the bars are not, I think, going to be responsible in making sure that those rules are followed, then I think that anybody with any sense will say, well, you know what? If you follow the rules, you're going to be okay. But if you're not, we have to keep society safe. And that's when the governor thinks he's going to do it, is by closing down the bars and other businesses, I'm sure, if that comes up in other businesses.
In your legal opinion, do you think the Texas Bars Association has a leg to stand on?
I'm sorry, what was that?
In your legal opinion, do you think the Texas Bars Association has a leg to stand on?
Well, I think that I'm sure they're going to draft their, lawsuit, in a way that will get them, to be heard by a court. Do they have a leg to stand on? I don't know, because I don't know what their arguments are going to be. But I know that the governor has the best interest, in my opinion, in mind, as far as keeping our, citizens of Texas safe.
We recently heard from Mayor Trey Mendez this morning that he and his team are drafting up, orders that will be implemented very shortly. Would you be in favor of either, instilling a new curfew, or would you even go as far as, and this is a long shot, but would you be an advocate for another shelter in place for Cameron County?
Okay, well, I don't know that a shelter in place would be something that people in general are going to be happy with.
Yeah.
I don't know that it is the best thing. And I know what they're looking at as government officials is they're looking also at other, everybody, and not just the results that we're getting through testing. I think they're looking also at the economics behind what the businesses are going through. Even people like us, not having a job, not having enough to pay for, their necessities. I think that is going to come to play too. And so I don't really know that they will do another shelter in place. We're just going to have to wait and see.
How many?
As far as the curfew, excuse me, you asked me about the curfew. I don't know that that's such a bad idea. Okay, right now especially, we want everybody to be safe. And I know I want to be safe. I want my children and my grandchildren. I want my friends. I want my family to be safe. And so you kind of wonder what a person would be doing out. And I know we're adults. I know we should be able to make our own decisions. But if people don't follow the rules, then sometimes the government officials have to do whatever they have to do to keep everybody safe. So I anticipate that they may, do that.
A curfew. In regards to how many numbers for Cameron County does not report on Sunday. Hidalgo County reports every single day of the week. Cameron County does not report on Sunday. Yesterday's number for Cameron County were 119. I'm sorry, 113 for Cameron County. So it's not a good thing. The topic has gone from taking precautions. I told you so. Hopefully the city has stocked up in body bags. Well, I hope everyone is stocked up in body bags. One of the things that we are, hi, Delgado, number one lawyer. Awesome. Helen, is she running for seat vacated from Hidalgo Lopez? No.
No, I am running for the seat that Judge Cisneros Nelson will be vacating after, or he's retiring on December 31st. And so there's really no seating judge, or there won't be a judge there. So it's an open court.
Open frequency. We have people late 40s, 50s dying of this. This is not just for viejitos anymore. I think one of the things that we received this morning from a doctor here, Dr. Emil, up in Harlingen, was showed us an X-ray of a 40-year-old patient, who was otherwise healthy, no underlying conditions, and was suffering, was going to be going through intubation. Intubation is not a great thing, guys. I haven't seen it personally, but let me tell you, I've done a little bit of Google search research. It's not a pretty thing. Jessica, hello. Oh, Jessica, anyone needs any mostachones? Let me tell you, that mango mostachon that I picked up last night went by lickety split. Great stuff out there. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Paul, good evening. Sandy, see, shout out. Good job. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. Best thing is to stay at home. Yeah, one of the things that I think that is very important is people need to become a little bit more responsible in regards to their maintaining social distancing and wearing face coverings. And again, I'll say this: I posted some pictures today, well, actually yesterday and today, and some people are going like, "You're not maintaining social distancing," and I'm going like, "Well, pictures don't always tell the truth in regards to everything." I'm going to repeat what I've said for individuals that may be on here for the first or second time. Guys, I am a loner at heart. As much as people think I'm a social butterfly, I am not a social butterfly. I truly am not. Ronnie, they're going to open for 3 hours, then shut for cleaning for 3 hours, and then open for 3 hours and so on. You can only shop your appointment one time per week. It's coming. Semi-martial law at the Walmart at Wally World. Goodness gracious, how is that going to appear? Hey, Norma. No, she's running for 138th District Court. Judge Nelson is retiring. Thank you, Esteban, for clearing up. Animo raza. Yeah, guys. One of the things that Mariana is very true on, guys, we need to stick together and work together. We need not tear each other up, down, unless you're elected official. If you're an elected official, then no holds barred. You get what you deserve. I actually wanted to go back to school. I want to enjoy my senior year, especially since my junior year got cut short. Diego, unfortunately, sir, it's not going to happen. This year, Diego, is going to be a little bit of what we experienced last year. Things have changed, Diego. We are dealing with different times. Let me tell you, and I'll tell you one thing, Diego. One of the things that you should appreciate is that you have your family close by and that your family is well and safe. One of the things that you're going to experience, you're probably going to think that this is the greatest time of your life. After 3-4 years, maybe 2-3 years after you graduate, not so much. Things start to get better out there. So no te agüites, Diego. You make it the best as you can, bro.
Going back to the 138th, I do want to, for the record, state that an invitation was extended to Ms. Delgadillo's opponent, Gabriela Garcia, twice. So I want to thank you, Ms. Delgadillo, for taking the time out so the community could get to know you a little bit better. We do have a runoff starting tomorrow morning. So with that said, what can you let the public know in regards to this position? Why are you qualified enough for us to consider you tomorrow morning in the polls?
Well, do you have a lot of time?
We have all night.
Well, I started off as an educator many seasons ago, and I had some wonderful life experiences in the 17 years that I was an educator. I got my bachelor's in music. I was a band director after that. And then I got my master's in education. I was a reading specialist and I did reading for a while. And then I got my certification in guidance and counseling. And that's what taught me a lot of skills that I know will help me when I become the next 138th District Court judge. And what it taught me was that, to listen to people, to respect people, to have tolerance of people. I think that my good listening skills will be an asset when I'm on the bench. I am on the bench actually already. I am the municipal court judge in Port Isabel, and I've been doing that for 13 years. After I became, an educator and I left education after 17 years, I went to law school And I've been practicing since 1997. So that's about 23 years. 13 of those years, I have also been the municipal judge. And so I am already a judge. I already know what is needed to have the temperament, to have the respect for people, to listen to them, to give them a fair shake. Because most of the people that come to court, they're like in my municipal court, they're not happy. They know that they're going to have to pay a fine generally. In county court and in district court, which is what I'm vying for. These are some serious issues that they will have whenever they come before my court. And so I think that a judge has to have that temperament in order to hear them and try to help them, because jail is not always the answer. You've got to have other options, to help people that come before you, especially, if they're first-time offenders or if they're young adults. And so those are the things that are necessary to be a good judge. I feel that I have that. And my life experiences are what has helped me to get to this point. I am the only candidate with judicial experience. People have said, oh, well, it's just a municipal court experience. You haven't really had the real experience of county or district. Well, a judge is a judge. The same temperament that you need in county and district judge, you need a municipal court. Okay, you hear different cases. As you get up in county, you listen to misdemeanors. In district, you listen to felonies. The level of civil cases that you listen in county courts are different than the ones that you listen in district court. But I have the experience, 13 years of it. Am I perfect? Of course not. Have I made mistakes? Of course I have. But you learn from them. The whole idea as to be a judge is to be fair, to be impartial, to be a good listener, and to try to help people in a very hard time that they go through whenever they go before a judge.
Would you consider yourself a politician?
I don't. This is the first time that I've ever been in a position of unfortunately, it just depends on how you look at it. This position is not, a political position. Shouldn't be. We're supposed to be there to be fair and impartial. We're not supposed to have an agenda. We're supposed to hear every case that comes before our court and individualize. And so, no, I'm not a politician, but you have to be a politician in essence in order to run and to, get into a bench.
Well, I'll tell you, I've run 5 different times or 5 different races, and I'm planning to run another one this year. And let me tell you, I hate being called a politician. Just because of the mindset that it gives a lot of the individuals. Roddy is making, a statement in regards to Trey Mendoza. He's a horrible mayor. What has he done? He caved into the fake racist matter and removed a monument. He's backing up. I can't say that word because I got in trouble last time I used that word. To read stories for children. One of the things that we did speak with Sarah Stapleton, who is a candidate for state senate. We did mention in regards to the movement that's going on throughout the country. We did ask Sarah, her take on a lot of these things in regards to, the happenings around the country and how they're affecting the city of Brownsville. One of the things that I've been very adamant about is I agree with Rodney. Believe it or not, Rodney, I believe with Rodney, and I really think that our city commission caved in. One of the things that an elected official is elected for is to represent the people in the community. So the majority of the individuals here in this community, as an elected official that you're going to be representing, a lot of these individuals, they have their values and their priorities set in something that's a little bit different to other parts of the country. What is your take in regards to having the Jefferson Davis Memorial removed from Washington Park?
I think it all depends on, every case is going to be individual. Okay. I don't know the reasoning. I haven't read on it. I don't know the reasoning. I think we have a history, whether it's good or bad. And I'm sure that they thought it through in their own way to make that decision. I don't know what that was, to be quite honest with you. I think we.
Well, your opinion on it, because I mean, I mean, I'll share with you my opinion. I think it was the dumbest thing any city commission could have ever done in the world. The dumbest thing, and the reason behind it is we have matters that are really, really concerning to the citizens of Brownsville. You know, we do live in the poorest community in the country, the poorest community, the fourth least educated. And one of the reasons why, and you know, I've shared my point of view. One of the reasons why is because our politicians, and that's why people the having that connotation like politician, and you know, and I'm glad you said that you don't feel as a politician, is because they're all part of that little same group that I feel wants to continue to have us the poorest community in the nation and the least educated. Because while they maintain us with a lack of education in regards to what's really going on and hurting our community, you know, they get away with murder and a half. I mean, you know, there's several cases out there that show that there is a culture, fermented culture of corruption going on in our area, and no one seems to take a stance in regards to anything other. And I want to throw away the law book. Your opinion in regards to representing a citizenry, which again, being a judge is not, but just your opinion in regards to prioritizing what is most important for our people.
Look, I think that our mayor and our Brownsville's mayor, Trey Mendez, and the commissioners, I'm sure that that's not the only issue that they have looked at in the last few weeks. That may be one of the issues. They have been in the news. They have been on Facebook. They have shown what else they're doing. It's not just about this monument. It's about what else they're doing. We don't just focus on one thing. We focus on many, many different issues. Okay. And so I think that to say that they're just focusing on this one issue is terrible, because it's not. They're not just focusing on one. That's one of the ones that went before them, right? And so my opinion, I don't know that. I think that we have a history, okay? That history is important to know, okay? Now, I think what they may have thought is, look, are we showing respect for something, or a person that we believe, you know, did something terrible during their time? I think that's why they took it down. But we can't forget our history, because our history is what makes us. Look at what happened with the pandemic, okay? I mean, this happened 100 years ago. If we were to erase the history, we wouldn't know what they went through and what we should go through and so forth and so on. So I think it's important to consider those issues too, because I don't think that they're just focusing on this one thing. They're focusing on many different things. But the way the people are feeling right now throughout the United States, and because of what's happening, you know, the racism that they believe they're seeing is what probably triggered it down here. And I know that, you know, the Confederate, flag, disrespects. Some people feel that it's a disrespect.
You get offended.
I just think that there's greater issues. Yes, there's greater issues, but that was one little issue that they did consider. And so I think that
you're right, Helen. I mean, you're spot on. It was very, very minute in comparison to the other big old things that are out there.
But that's not to say that they're not focusing on the bigger issues either. Okay.
Well, I would wish that they would bring those to light as adamantly and be as proactive, because the rock thing, I mean, it was people from outside of Brownsville. And, you know, when do people from outside of Brownsville come and dictate to the people of Brownsville what monuments we should have up, what rocks, which 98% of Brownsville didn't even know existed? You know, not 98% of Brownsville didn't existed. But again, it's kind of bothersome to me, because it's like we're following this little trend of what's going on everywhere, and We want to be politically correct. We just want to live. Does the mayor have the legal authority to order a shelter in place? The answer is no and yes. The answer is no and yes. And the reason that it's no and yes, Paul, and I'll say this, is because Governor Abbott has done a two-step. He's reverted in regards to a lot of the taking away of the power to different counties and municipalities. If you remember correctly, the governor said, no, 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 no. Mask, no mask, no mask, no mask. And all of a sudden he goes, masks are not so bad.
But why? Why did he do that? Because at the time he felt that it was unnecessary. Okay. And so then the numbers started getting higher again. And so then there's nothing wrong either by saying, hey, you know what? Maybe at the time that I said there was no need for it, there wasn't a need for it, even though I disagree, because I think we should have been masked the whole time to, keep ourselves safe and everybody else. But when he saw the numbers and when he started getting challenged by different, county officials, like the one in Bexar County,
yeah,
he started rethinking, well, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. And so there's nothing wrong with changing the rules so long as they keep our best interest at heart.
Well, my opinion is he bowed down to the president of the United States. And again, I love Papi Trump. Papi Trump sent Erasmo a check for $1,200, and I want Papi Trump to send Erasmo another check. This time, Papi Trump, please send me a $2,000 check, please, Papi Trump. So I really think the opening up the economy as fast as they did with the 3 different phases, I really think, again, going back into politics, it was politically motivated. And I think that's where when politicians start acting irresponsibly by doing the political thing, the politically correct thing, instead of actually serving the people that they serve, I think that's when politicians have to step back and do the little two-step, the Texas two-step. And I think poor Abbott got caught with his pants beneath the knees, really in a very, very, very bad way. Again, I love Greggy. Greggy and he gave me a call last night. I spoke to him last night, and I said, Greggy, what's up, bro? And he says, Erasmo, I'm sorry, Erasmo, you were right. He literally told me. I mean, I have it recorded. Erasmo, you were right, Erasmo, and I was wrong. And I said, Greggy, I'm looking out for you, bro. I'm looking out for you. And I told you not to open the bars. I told you not to open the bars, that you were going to have to take a two-step, bro. And what happened? Well, yes. He did a two-step on it. So again, I want politicians to respond to what is right, to what is in favor of the community that we serve, not the White House, not the vendors, not individuals who are out there putting money into campaigns, because it gets very frustrating, Helen, when you see politicians who are out there knocking at the doors of vendors, and at the end of the day, they have to obey their master. And it really sucks that in a country where we, the people, we are the government, where you have vendors and special interests making ultimate decisions that are life and death, because hundreds of individuals out here contracted the coronavirus. Hundreds. I mean, as soon as the bars opened, a week later, they were already closing. And it's just trippy that a lot of us out there, a lot of us doctors, no, not us doctors, but a lot of us out there, who research and who read and who see, we're out there saying, as along with the doctors out there, it's a mistake, but it seems that nobody listens. Helen, will you be a politician that listens to the people?
I think I already listen to the people.
Okay.
I think as an attorney, I have to listen to my clients. As a judge, I have to listen to to the people that come before my court. Okay. And so, like you said, we're not doctors, but, and a lot of times what we do is social media post a lot of information. And a lot of people, they believe everything they read. Okay. And you saw what, people were saying about face masks, and how bad they were. Well, the way I saw it was, look, if a doctor, when I go see a doctor And the first thing he puts in his face is a face mask, and he puts some gloves on. Okay, I know that it's to protect not only him but me. Okay, so if the doctor is using it, I'm going to use it. If the doctor is saying I should, okay. And so I think that's important too. We need to listen, and we can't believe everything that we read either. We have to research, and we have to, be reasonable, and we need to pay attention, to what's going on. A lot of people don't pay attention, and that's where we are right now.
Helen, as of right now, many courts are conducting business via Zoom or by teleconference. Many have said that it is efficient. It is, it's easy to be accessible because attorneys sometimes they work in Cameron County and Hidalgo County. What can we expect from Helen Delgadillo, the 138th District Judge? Would this be something that you would implement more to have more flexibility for the attorneys and for their clients?
I think that Zoom works very well. That's what we've been doing during this pandemic, right? Because we're all concerned, okay? I think it's a good tool to use. However, once all of this gets better, there's nothing like being next to your client. And, when you're sitting next to him or when you're standing next to him, there's nothing like that. But, Judge McDonald, he has been doing video, courts for a long time, and it has worked out very, very well. And so I think it's a good thing. I mean, we're forced into it now, but with Judge McDonald, for example, it wasn't something that was forced on him. He just liked it. It was more efficient for him and his court, right? And so it gave us an opportunity to go to the jail, talk to our clients, and so in Zoom, it's actually a little bit better because now they have these private rooms too. And you can actually ask to be allowed to speak to your client if there's a question. So Zoom is working, and I think that it's a good thing for our court system. Some people don't like it. I happen to like it a lot. You can sit in your office, and you can multitask. You can while somebody else's case is being heard, you can actually work on another case because you can always, close the video and you can mute. And so you can do other things while another case is being heard. So it's very efficient. I like it. And I would, be open to it.
If they do a shelter in place, will this force BISD to do distant learning? No, Victor. It will completely not. One of the things that the superintendent has basically said out there that he doesn't care about putting more than 22 students in the classroom. He doesn't care. They've given them a green light in regards to opening up whichever way they decide they should. And let me tell you, I'm going to say it again. Every parent should opt to keep their kids at home and homeschool. And homeschool in regards to get distant learning from the district. Receive distant learning from the school district. Do not send your children back at home. Not if these numbers continue to rise the way that they have been rising. Anyone out there who thinks that this district is going to be able to protect your children on campus is crazy. Crazy. They cannot. They've already proven that they failed. They've tried it, despite the fact that we were calling out against it. They tried it during the summer, and they've already put our students, our faculty, and our parents' life in danger. So no, keep your kids at home and opt to distant learn. Distant learn. And ask that our teachers also be allowed to distant learn. Helen, you were an educator, Helen. Right now, a lot of our teachers are very, very concerned. They're very, very concerned with going back on campus when so many cases have come out positive. For individuals going back on campus, there is absolutely no way anyone can guarantee that there is no Rona on campuses. Teachers want to educate from their home where they can supervise their children and teach distant learning from their home. Does it make sense to you that the district a fuerza quiere traer a parents back onto campus? I mean, teachers, educators.
I think that people are just trying to figure out what to do. Okay, they may be thinking about doing something right now that could change because of the numbers rising. So I think they're just trying to figure out what is best for their district, for their children, for their teachers, for the parents. I don't think that they have anything set in stone. And I think we just need to wait and see, what happens between now and when school starts.
But school starts in a month and a half.
That's true, but
There's
we
no
don't really know what any school district is going to do right now. I mean, they're trying to figure it out. And I think we need to give them a chance to do that.
I'm going to disagree. I mean, I'm just tired of waiting, and then being reactive. And our students are falling sick. Our teachers are falling sick. Our teachers are suffering from anxiety. The number of teachers that have gotten on anxiety medication since this whole thing started is amazing. I mean, really, really trippy amazing. It's too much. Educators need to feel that their safety and their health are they're being taken care of. Now, one of the things that Cindy makes mention is in regards to the horrifying video of the ambulances waiting in line at Valley Baptist. Let me tell you guys, that's very scary. One of the things that we did make mention is in regards to Dr. Emil that threw out there that the hospitals are ready in Cameron County. We're already 107% capacity. That's scary, folks. And I have had conversations with leadership here in the city of Brownsville, and they are concerned, very, very concerned. Any doctor that works out there at the hospitals, anyone that works at the hospitals will tell you they don't know what to expect the next couple of days. But one thing that I think is going to happen, and look, Helen, you made mention that, we have to learn from history. We have to learn from history. 100 years, we had the Spanish flu. And even after that, we had a lot of individuals wearing face coverings. We see the pictures with amazing pictures out there. We have to learn from history. One of the other things that we have to learn is individuals that have already gone through all this. We've seen the videos coming in from China, coming in from South Korea, coming in from Italy, coming in from Spain, coming in from around the world. And what we are experiencing now is what they experienced, I would say, six weeks to 2 months ago. So we're just slowly getting into that thing. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen on social media or on the news the horrifying videos of patients lining in the hallways of the hospitals because there are no beds. And one of the things that we learned from a lot of the doctors throughout the world, they said, guys, we're at the point where we're just going to decide who's going to live and who's going to die. I mean, isn't it kind of scary to have these videos out there where the ambulances are lining up, dropping off patients at our hospitals?
Absolutely. But this is something that we're going through. And we as individuals, we must make sure that we take care of ourselves and our families and that we make good decisions. Excuse me.
Corona.
Excuse me. If a lot of times people need to be told what they must and must not do. Okay. We as individuals have to also take responsibility and do what's best for us and everybody else.
I agree.
I think that's the start right there.
We can't blame bars and restaurants. It's the people that don't believe. And I agree with you 100%, DJ. It would be irresponsible to blame. Look, man, our bars and our restaurants, they just, they want to break even, bro. I mean, they really, really want to break even. And unfortunately for them, they haven't been able to break even. They haven't been able to break even because they haven't been able to get the customers inside their place of business where they can actually make money. I mean, I've gone to restaurants now and I've posted pictures and I've even gotten slammed because of that. But I've gone to restaurants now and they're empty restaurants. And that's right.
Mr. Delgado, one thing that your opponent has been stressing in the local blogs has been her criminal experience as a criminal defense attorney, that she served some time in the district attorney's office and that she practiced criminal law. What's your take on that, and what's your message to the voters coming tomorrow morning?
Well, first of all, I'm not running for DA, okay? If I was running for DA, I would probably need prosecutorial experience, okay? I'm running for judge, okay? And a good attorney, they're going to be able to argue and defend both sides of the case. So you don't need for somebody to tell me that because I don't have prosecutorial experience as she does, then, the other person is a better candidate. I disagree. She was a prosecutor. She was going to run for DA, okay? And then she changed her mind. But me, I'm not running for for DA. I'm running for judge. I have 13 years of experience as a judge. Okay. And I feel that I'm a good attorney and I can practice on both sides. Any good attorney is going to know what the other side, position is. That's what makes us, good attorneys, is to be able to fight or know both sides of the argument. And so the fact that I didn't work as a assistant district attorney, should matter not. Okay, I'm running for judge, not a DA.
Awesome.
So. Mm-hmm.
Port Isabel, South Padre Island has a lot of tourism. What would you do as a judge to protect these two communities?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Port Isabel and South Padre Island have a lot of tourism. What would you do as a judge to protect these two communities?
I don't know that I would be in a position to make, any kind of decisions regarding that. I trust that whomever is in charge of making those rules will make them in our best interest. Okay. I don't get to hear these cases until they come to me. If they've been, cited for breaking a curfew or, not following, like during the pandemic, not, using face coverings and stuff like that. That's when I come in. Okay. I don't make policy. I am a judge and I don't get to see any of these people until they come before my court.
Mr. Cadillo, how, in your opinion, has the pandemic hindered the courts and the judicial system, and how do you propose the courts proceed to conduct business?
Well, many of the courts are already doing their court hearings through Zoom. They're using other forms as well. They're using telephonic. Our court here in Port Isabel, they are working on, or the people that do the computers and all that, they're working on a system so that we can do what the other courts are doing. And so that's what courts are going to have to do. They're going to have to, do it through Zoom, through telephonic. I mean, there's different ways to do it, but it can work. Okay, it can work. It's much better to be in court, but if, for example, it's working out for a lot of people because our area is very transient. We get people from all over. And so a lot of these people, when they get a citation, they usually will just say, I'm guilty or no contest or whatever. And they just send, a check, right? Well, in this particular case, they can actually be heard and they can actually appear in court through a Zoom or through a telephonic. So it's going to work. I mean, it's just different. We just have to adapt.
Good. Helen, one of the things, again, going back into your roots as an educator, our students are going to be faced with going back on campus or staying at home because of the numbers that are constantly increasing. In your opinion, as an educator, should educators and students continue to distance learn at home, or should they risk it and go back on campus?
I don't think there should be a risk. I mean, I don't think it's wise to put anyone in a position that they would risk getting sick. Okay. But I also trust that the people that are in charge of making policy and that are in charge of trying to, do what's best for everybody, concerning in the school district, from from administrators to teachers to paraprofessionals, to students, I think that we need to help them to make those good choices so that we don't put anybody at risk.
Well, I mean, yeah, educators, our teachers are amazing. Our teachers are amazing, but we have a superintendent that sucks. We have a superintendent who has done nothing. The only thing he has done is kiss the butt of the current board members for him to get an extension to a contract when his contract wasn't even up at all. So again, our teachers are desperate for some form of leadership. They're finding none. So I would want to wish that people out there at the school district were making great choices. They are not in any way, shape, or form. I mean, and one of the things that we did have this past week, our one of our school board, one of our school associations out there, they did have a demonstration, a peaceful demonstration, I will say, nothing like the looting and craziness that's happening everywhere else in the country. A peaceful demonstration where we were maintaining social distancing and everyone out there had a face covering. Teachers are frustrated. Teachers are very, very frustrated. And and with a position as a judge, there comes and people are asking, there comes a certain level of of power with it. And I what I mean with power, it's outside of the court. As a citizen of our community, would you advocate for teacher rights, for teacher raises, being that you were an educator? I mean, away from the bench.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if a raise is warranted, of course, and I mean, you say the teachers are going through, all these different issues, but it's not just the teachers. It is also the parents. It's also the children. Look, I don't know which is the best answer. What I do know is that children learn differently. Okay. Children, and some have to be in a classroom in order for them to grasp. Okay. Others can learn very well with, being, on a computer like we are. Okay. My niece, for example, chose not to go to the college that she was going to go to because she felt that it was going to be online. And she felt, why am I going to go to a college where everything is going to be by computer? I don't do well with computers, she said. I'd rather stay here, where I am, and hope that the colleges here will help us to be able to talk to our professors when there's a problem without having to do it through computer. So it's not a simple thing. We have to make sure that we look at everything. Look, for example, another example is during the pandemic, and when there was the teachers were teaching online, there was a young lady who was working on a doctorate degree, right? She has 3 or 4 kids, all about 12 and under, and then she was a teacher. And so she had to juggle all of those different responsibilities. It was very hard. So it's not just as simple as to say that we should do this, because that's not, it's not fair. We have to look at the whole thing and decide what is best. What is best for everybody concerned.
Hey, Helen, for
always keeping the children, at the top of the priority.
Good. For Helen, with your experience as judge, is Judge Trevino lacking responsibility for citizens? Is he not getting in our shoes? I guess, is he not putting himself in our shoes? Because ultimately he makes the decisions.
That's what he was elected for. He was elected to be our county judge, and he was elected by the people. And so when I don't know if it's a good decision or a bad decision. I just hope, and that when he makes a decision, he's thinking about the whole community. What is best for Cameron County? We have to believe that that's what he is taking into consideration when he's making those decisions.
Good.
We just have to trust, and if not, then we need to reach out to him and we need to tell him what we feel. And hopefully, he will listen to us if, in fact, we're right.
Yeah, he won't.
Mr. Navillo, in regards to you being on the bench, there's this misconception or this perception, I should say, that people with money have better outcomes than those less fortunate in the judicial system. What can we expect of you as a judge of being fair and impartial to all defendants or litigants that are before you?
I think that it doesn't matter whether you're rich or whether you're poor, whether you can afford a big time attorney or not. I think that people, for example, underestimate, court appointed attorneys. It isn't like it used to be. A lot of the attorneys, I should say, are on the wheel. And so we, or pretrial services will appoint someone, to an individual. I have faith. I know that I do. I don't care whether it is a retained client or whether I'm court appointed. I'm going to work just as hard, for my clients. And I believe that most attorneys do feel that way, and they work hard, to make sure that everybody gets a fair shake whenever, or good representation whenever they have to go before the court. And so I don't agree with that statement that, if you have money, you're going to get a better deal than if you don't. I just don't agree with that. I have not found that to be the case. When I have, negotiated with the DA's office, we never discuss whether I'm a retained or attorney or whether I'm a court-appointed attorney. We go in there and we fight for our client. We advocate for our clients, and I believe that most attorneys do that. We're not all perfect, though. I can't say that everybody does it, but I can tell you that the majority of the legal community out there will advocate and fight for, our clients.
No le echemos la culpa a nadie, es la culpa de la gente cabezona, que fregados tienen que andar en los bares en la isla y en otras partes que no son necesarias. Ahora ahí están las consecuencias, y por unas personas tercas y ahí están las consecuencias. Y ¿sabes qué, Diana? El problema es de que por ser tan cabezones la llevamos todos. O sea, una de las cosas, Diana, si has estado aquí con tiempo, que hemos estado diciendo es manténganse separados para que pronto podamos estar juntos de nuevo. Y ahí va mi gente a hacer completamente lo contrario. Tienes toda la razón, Dianita. Aparte de ser hermosa, muy inteligente. The instigators are the African Americans. If they would only be loved. You want to get me in trouble? Love you, bro. I like Delgadillo's response on the famous rock. We can't erase our history. We must learn from the past and avoid making the same mistakes in the future. I completely agree. Why y'all so loud?
Sorry, Gael.
They should have more concerns about other things as much as they do for the damn rock. You're right, Erica. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, they're stealing $65 million from the people of Brownsville in regards to utility rates. And does anyone care? Does anyone make a special meeting in order to see where our money went? Does anyone, hold people accountable for putting $1.3 million in somebody else's account? No, nada, zip. Keep in mind, Texas was a Confederate state. Well, it was a country, and then it was a Confederate state. Now, all of a sudden, we know to wishes of our own towners. We need leaders, not followers. I agree, Chris. And I'm so tired of our elected officials paying more attention to people from San Antonio, listening to people from Seattle, instead of listening to the people here in Brownsville or in Cameron County. It's got to stop. POTUS just passed executive order in reference to monuments and statues. Good. Stop hurting the damn monuments. They're inanimate objects. You're hurting my people. Stop hurting my people. So when is Trump closing test locations? No time soon. Un gran saludo para Castro. Gracias, Giovanni. Excelentísimo. It was always necessary. What was necessary? I don't get it. Why are you so loud? Why are you so hard of hearing? Por unas personas, digamos todos. Amén, hermanita. Ya, too loud. Lower the volume. Aquel que no conoce su historia está condenado. Yes. Helen, I have a question for you. Recently, we learned that your opponent, Ms. Garcia, Attorney Garcia, she endorsed. She endorsed Sheriff Lucio in his re-election campaign. People were shocked. I mean, I don't think Omar Lucio reciprocated the support. Was it a political stunt to try and get or harbor a lot of the votes that are coming Sheriff Lucio's way? Or was it a complete blunder to disassociate or disavow a lot of the voters that are voting for his opponent, Eric Garza?
I didn't know she did that. And I suppose she can because she's not a judge. I wouldn't be able to do that because judges are not allowed to endorse anybody. But I didn't know that she actually did that.
In regards to being an advocate, not all lawyers advocate for their clients. What's your position in regards to defendants not wanting to take a plea bargain?
Well, the decision is ultimately theirs. If they don't want to take a plea bargain, then they go to court. I mean, to trial. You know, we can encourage, based on the evidence that they have against the defendant, what they should do, based on the evidence that the DA has. But ultimately, if he doesn't want to take a deal, he doesn't have to.
He was reactive and not proactive. My question, Helen, was it a political blunder for your opponent to endorse Omar Lucio without Omar Lucio, I guess, asking for it because he didn't return the favor? Was it a mistake?
Not if she believes that it's going to help her. And obviously, she didn't think it was going to hurt her. Otherwise, she probably wouldn't have done that.
I think it's a mistake. Well, one of the other questions that we received is that one of the setbacks in regards to Ms. Garcia is the relationship to a lot of the already politicos that are around us. You know, she has relatives in other politicians in other political offices. I mean, what about dynasties? Do you believe in that we should have dynasties in regards to relatives serving different positions throughout the community?
I think it depends on who the candidates are. It may be that it would be a good idea. Look at President Ford. I mean, not Ford. Bush. President Bush, the old man Bush. Then we have a Governor Bush in Florida. We have our president, George W., that became president also. Then we have his nephew, who is a railroad commissioner or something like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that it's all a bad thing, especially if you know that the people that are running for office are qualified and are doing a good job. I mean, I don't know that being a relative should just, completely disregard, you being able to run or not.
So you think dynasties are okay?
I didn't say that. I think it just depends on who's running, and I think we need to focus on the candidate. That's more important than whether there's dynasties.
There's no room for go back and forth.
And also think about it, Erasmo. People elect these people. All right, they have a choice, and if the people have elected people that relatives of other people that are in office, that was their choice. We have to respect our voters. So it's not a matter of whether I believe in a dynasty or not. I think that ultimately the voters decide.
This lady is actually speaking the truth. Our governor opened up, and when it started getting out of hand, he's pulling it back down. There's nothing wrong with it. No, I never said there was anything wrong with that, Ronnie. I actually applauded the governor. For, again, if y'all know me, I give praise where I think praise should be given, and I call out when I think things should be called out. I mean, and that's what I told Greggy when I talked to him last night. So I praised him. I said, Greggy, I'm very proud of you, Greggy. I'm very proud that you took it back and you admitted I made a mistake in opening the bars. So yeah, I mean, I agree with Helen. I think that it's very, very commendable that he made a mistake. He retracted and said, you know what, guys, I made a mistake. I really wish all our politicians were like that. Unfortunately, they are not. They're definitely not. Our COVID numbers aren't coming from bars. They're coming from people crossing from Mexico that are infected. No. No, they're coming from bars. Yes, they are.
Well, I don't know that they're coming from bars. Okay,
no, they're coming from bars.
That's the only place they're coming from.
I don't know.
They're coming from everywhere. You go to a store, you go to a restaurant, you go to a family gathering. Look at the group, the 18 family members that had a party and ended up all being infected. It's not just from bars. So we just need to change our ways in order to protect ourselves and everybody else.
I'm a doctor. I watched ER in Chicago Hope for 15 years. You watch Chicago Hope? Loser! Loser! Chicago Hope sucked. Now, ER was an amazing show. But for everyone out there, again, I'm still trying to buy my doctorate degree. I'm still trying to buy my doctorate degree from Mexico. Please, hopefully it'll come sooner or later. So hopefully after next month, I want you to call me Dr. Erasmo Castro. But I will not earn it. I will buy it. So you become a doctor for watching Chicago Hope. Congratulations, bro. I got my doctorate the old-fashioned way. I bought it. I'm going to. Not yet. And I'm joking, Helen. Don't worry. Don't send the cops against me. What about individuals struggling with mental issues and are straight away sent to jail and suffer further trauma and end up going in and out of jail? That's that's an amazing question. Let me tell you, it is something that's very, very concerning. I think that right now, one of the things that our judicial system is doing is they're being very, very cautious in regards to individuals, with mental issues, with mental health problems. Again, this is what I am seeing from far away. Helen, would you agree, disagree in regards to individuals that are struggling with mental issues?
I think that most judges that are on the bench right now are very, conscientious about making sure that people that have mental issues get help, whether it's through outside or in jail. I know that they have different programs in the jail also that deal with that issue.
Is shelter in place necessary? I asked if shelter in place is legal. It is absolutely not legal. Shelter in place is not legal, and I think that's one of the reasons why the governor had to retract on it and said there are no fines to be placed out there.
If I could go back, Mr. Delgado, to the mental health issues, we've seen in court how many times many defendants are sent to prison right away. Would you want to advocate or want to send these individuals to rehab as much as possible before sending them to prison?
I have not seen many go to prison before they get an opportunity to go through some kind of mental health rehab. But it also depends on the type of crime, because if you're not going to send a murderer, on probation and to get mental health, we hope that he will or she will get that in prison. But I think that most judges and most of the ADAs, they do have, a system where we do try to get them mental health before they actually end up in jail.
Good. Let's see. I got a text that early voting starts tomorrow. Is that right? Yes, Jennifer. Early voting does start tomorrow.
Yes.
Guys, please take 2 to 3 minutes out of your day. It's not going to take longer than 5 minutes at the most, and go vote.
And it is important to know that during early vote that they can go to any precinct. Any precinct. They can go to my Facebook page, and there's a list of all the different locations that you can go vote during early vote. And so there, or you can call the Cameron County elections office, and they have a list that you can get. And so if you happen to be in Brownsville, you can actually go to Brownsville. If you're from Harlingen and vice versa, you can vote anywhere in any precinct during the early vote. However, on July 14th, you cannot vote anywhere but your own precinct. So if you want, and another thing, I don't know how the lines are going to be. I'm hoping a lot of people go out to vote, but sometimes it's easier to go early. And vote early because we don't know what the lines are going to be on election day.
Yeah, please take advantage of early voting, folks. Please, vote soon. Vote constantly. Vote multiple times if you have to. Oh, no. Only if you're a Democrat. There are many districts who have already decided to do 100% online. Yeah, Vero. And you know what? A lot of these districts have already decided weeks ago. The district still hasn't decided. Weeks ago. Mexico decided 2 weeks ago. Mexico's like a third world country. Mexico. We still haven't gotten our act together. You know why? Because they don't care. Why are we still so stubborn as a parent? Only go out to work, get groceries, come back home. I have 2 kids at home, yet their parents out are going to parties, bars, beaches. You see, it is Bar's fault. Who will assure me that my other children who goes to school will not get sick? No one. And you know what, Erica? They're not going to promise you that they're going to be safe with their school, because the truth is they will not be safe on campus. They will not. That is why the district has to close down the campuses and have distant learning at least till January, at least, and then monitor the situation, because it is irresponsible to send our students back to campus. Stupid. No, bitch it up. Hospitals reached their max capacity and school hasn't started. Exactly, Mary Rose. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if there's an overflow in regards to hospitals because of the high number of cases that are pouring in, and then people are still going to want to tell you to send your kids and to have our teachers back on campus? No, bitch it up. It's stupid. Stupid. Mr. Gadillo, our superintendent is not trying to figure out what to do. Back in May, he made it very clear that he thought teachers were getting paid for doing nothing at home. See, this is what my teachers have been suffering with, Helen. This right here. And they are frustrated. And again, in a point in time when there is a void or lack of leadership by our elected officials, then, they search for that voice that screams out in the wilderness. That's me. I love y'all. Prima, I love you, Jessica. Total lockdown and Brownsville. No, can't happen. Drink. Thank you. I almost forgot. I disagree. So you say we go back on campus and then be like, oh, this was a mistake because not everyone is getting sick. Our local doctors are telling us to stay home. I don't think I made that comment, Manny. Oh, it's no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. Stay at home. It is a no-brainer. Do not look, guys. It's getting closer to August the 11th, and I promised you that I would be more open in regards to saying what people should be doing, should be not doing. Do not send your students onto campuses. Do not keep them at home. Do not send them. No one will guarantee that they will be safe. And if they go get it from Juanito, Panchita, I mean, look, if they get piojos, you think they're not going to get Rona? Don't bitch it up. Yes, you're right, Mr. Castro. I agree with you. The person, with all due respect, choose both ways. Not good. Open your eyes. This is not a joke. And again, my BISD staff are frustrated. Our bodies piling up. It's very scary. Look at the hospitals. Look at the big old lines. For the superintendent, BISD is just a business. That's where his heart is, obviously, and this board supports it. This board is a piece of trash. I spit on them. You kind of give advice if you can't give advice if you F up. Oh, because you're perfect, Joe. Oh, wow, yes, teachers, you show us. You run for office, you idiot. This is something we should have been prepared for. We had since March. A month is enough to figure out all the details to ensure. I agree with you 100%. Good evening, Rosemary. Yes, thank you, Jordan. Voting for Judge Judy tomorrow. What? I don't think she's running. I don't think so. Some of us work for the district and have school-age children. It's not fair. It's madness, Mariana. Madness. Seems as if we don't have a choice. Either we quit or take care of our families to expose ourselves. Madness. I'll vote for you as judge if you clear my parking tickets. I'm not running for judge. Oh, Helen Delgadillo is running for district judge. Guys, tomorrow is the start of early voting. And again, if you have any other questions in regards to Helen Delgadillo, in regards to her track record, where she's from, where she did, she has a Facebook page out there. And send her an inbox, send her a message. Just a question. Calm. Go ahead. Send her a message, find out, see what's going on. When the BSD superintendent points the finger at the teachers, he has 3 fingers pointing back at the corrupt board. I agree with Maria. I kind of changed that, but yeah, I agree. This is right. Helen, we're encouraging people to go out and vote, and if you have any questions, to send you and speak to you directly. Any last words tonight?
Only that even though we are going through a very difficult time, I'm hoping, and I know that the county will do everything they can to keep the people that go to the polls safe. Make sure that you do your part too. Make sure to use a face mask, and then keep a social distance. But it is so important to vote. There's several different elections going on right now, or races, I should say. And of course, I think mine is most important. But I would hope that you will go out and vote, and vote for Helen Delgado for the 138 District Court.
Helen, tomorrow being early voting, why should you be elected the next judge for the 138 District Court?
Well, I believe that I'm the best candidate. Why do I believe that? I believe that I'm the best candidate because I am the only candidate with judicial experience. And so I have, my background, my life experiences that have helped me to get to where I am right now. I think it's this journey that I have made through life that's brought me to this point. And I think that the fact that I was an educator, the fact that I am a municipal judge for 13 years, the fact that I am been practicing law for 23 years, and an array of different law, and not just criminal law, but civil law. In fact, I worked as a civil attorney for about 9 years before I went on my own. And so I think that all of that makes me the better candidate, and I hope that everybody else will think so too.
I just want to thank Ms. Helen Delgado for taking out the time to speaking to our community. I think it's very important for us, the voters, to listen from the candidates themselves. And it's not easy coming out here. Nothing is scripted. She didn't ask for any questions. So that says a lot about her. So we do encourage each and every one of our viewers to go out tomorrow. It's very important for us, like I said, to hear from the candidates. So once again, tomorrow is the start of early voting. Election day is Tuesday, July 14th. Make sure we go out early, guys. Encourage your friends and family to go out and vote. It's going to be a hard time due to this COVID-19 pandemic that we're dealing with, but it is important for us to vote for people that we feel are going to be there for the best interests of our community as a whole. So once again, thank you, Ms. Delgado, for taking out the time of your schedule for speaking to us and answering these questions, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invite.
Guys, have a great evening out there. Stay safe. Maintain social distance as much as possible. Please wear face coverings. We're going into restaurants and we're coming and encountering individuals anywhere out there, guys. Please, please, please carry one with you. They're very, very portable. They're everywhere. Everybody's giving them away in order to promote themselves. Keep them in your little bolsillo and take them out every time you're need to go into Walmart, go to H-E-B. Leave your kids at home. Do not take your kids to Walmart or H-E-B to go do grocery shopping. Keep them at home. Don't take them. Guys, and do not throw face masks on the floor. Do not be throwing out gloves on the floor either. No sean marranos. Do not be piggies. Guys, have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Take care of each other. Take care of me. God bless.
Thank you.
Bye, Alan.
Bye.